August 24th, 1967, we're in the home of Mr. and Mrs. Abraham Compton of Oklahoma City. The subject is the Ponca Hethuska Society, commonly known or called War Dance. This organization has been in existence for an unknown number of years in the past, even before the coming of the white man. It was an organization of men who were the braves, the warriors of the tribe, and men who were important in their tribe as a tribal leader, as well as being perhaps the son of a great chief, or even to the grandson, or to anyone who proved himself to be a good citizen of the tribe, and men who were known for their ability to talk and to live as the Indian would have themselves to live in a good way, to show themselves as good people. They went about organizing this Hethuska Society by choosing a leader who was known as the Nudahunga, that means war leader. And the war leader chose his committee, which could be any number from 4 to perhaps 7 or 8. And then you have the whipman, comes in that order. And then the tail dancers, and the whipman, and the head singer. Next to the head singer came the water boys. And now we'll go into the duties of each man holding them offices or their positions. The leader is responsible for the whole organization as it was in the olden days. He saw to it that all the members did their duties, and he was the main one to contribute or to give to the organization material things which would help the organization to have their war dances. And then the committee acted as advisors and helpers to the leader in whatever was required to perform the Hethuska or the war dance. The whipman's duty was to see that each man danced at the proper time. Whenever the song started, the whipman arose from his feet and started dancing the semicircle. After he completed the semicircle, when he came back, anyone who had not risen from their seats to dance, he was whipped. He did not whip them to hurt them or injure them, anything like that, but then he was in that position to see that everyone danced. Now, the position of the head singer is that naturally he sees that all the singers are there, properly seated at the drum, and he leads the singing from the beginning until until about maybe 3-4 songs, and then it's open to the rest of the singers to start a song or to sing whatever they wanted to. Those are the duties of the head singer. Of course, he himself too has to help the organization in any way he can possibly help. He offers donations or contributes to the organization whenever the Mudahana songs or the war leader songs are sung, or commonly called giveaway songs today. And tail dancers, these men dance the tail, which is the finale of that one song that they have sung. They dance on the tail, or the finale of the song, which shows completion of the song. And then comes the water boys. Now, some people among our people and elsewhere, they make fun of the water boys. And we look down, perhaps we might say, on that position as being water boys. But to the Indian, the water boy position is just as important, because they take it in a manner in which we speak of it today as when they bring the water, we know that water is life-giving or life-sustaining. We cannot do without water. And, of course, there are other things connected with it, but that's the most important part, which they consider the water boys as bringing the water, when they bring the water into the dancer, to the Hethuska. Those are the fundamental duties of each of these officers in the water boys. The Hethuska committee, from the beginning, as I stated, could be more than 4. That would be up to the leader himself. I've known of other organization within our area here having more than 4 or 7 or 8. He has more than that in order to the help that he can get from the members of the committee. And then I might add this, that I was questioned about the roomkeeper. I must say at this time that I have no information of the drumkeeper as keeping the drum and looking after the drum at all. The person that keeps the drum has no significant meaning in our tribe. He just takes the drums and puts it away and keeps it he looks after it. He keeps it in the home so that it won't be hurt or destroyed in any way. It's just that rule is that simple. Although I've heard of one man as being keeper of the house of the Hethuska, or the home of the Hethuska. They call it the Wadi. That's the home keeper, or keeper of the house. Now then, if you want to ask me a question?
Not at this point. I can't really think of anything. Like to get into more of the giveaway thing. And what's expected of a war organization, war dance organization?
Each member, after they're organized, the leader places each man in the semicircle. And when he gives this place in a circle to any man, that man keeps that feet from not move to other part of the circle, but the seat that was given to him, that's what he will occupy from now on. He will not change seats with anyone, because it is expected of him to pay for his position in the seat in the warden circle. And so it is that applies to the rest of the organization, the whole organization. The whip man is placed on the north side of the semicircle, and he sits with one of the tail dancers. The other tail dancer sits on the other side of the circle, opposite the whip man and the tail dancer to my left, as I sit in the facing east. And each and every one must pay for his position in the Hethuska society, regardless of whether he holds position or not. He pays for his position.
Now, when you say pay, exactly can you give us an example of how a whipman or tail dancer or just a dancer in the organization would pay for his position?
If one man, for instance, you take the tail dancers or the whipman, we'll talk about the dancing position. If he has danced before and had given away before, he would have to dance on one of the giveaway songs or the leader's song and pay for it that way. But if he hasn't paid at all any time, well, he'll have to pay before, after he is in the arena without any song, and letting the public know why he's giving away.
So in other words, paying for his position means giving away to someone.
Yes. You're getting all you give first among our people. You show your gratitude, your appreciation, and your privilege that has been extended to you, and that you have been chosen or elected into this organization. You pay to the organization because they're the one that honors you or give you that privilege. Not everything or all the time, but then you pay to the organization, and later on, or part of what you're going to give away to your friends or elsewhere.
Your first duty is to the organization.
That's right.
Do you have any duty to the officers or the
No. No. See, this is going to be your first time as a Ponca, based upon the Ponca Hethuska, right?
Yes.
All right? You'll do it in that manner I just described. And then afterwards, it'll be your next dance. Should the thing giveaway song, then you give away to anyone you want to. But you are required to give. The leader and the committee and the tail dancers, whipmen are required to dance the committee song or the giveaway song.
All the songs are just their specific
Yes,
songs. All the
that's right. Although sometimes the tail dancers don't run home, sometimes they don't. But it's mostly to the leader and the committee. That's the reason why some organizations will call it the committee song. There are two, but in the Ponca Warden organization, I can recall right here, right quickly, we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
I see. Those are the whipman songs, the cook song.
At the end of your dance, just before you end your dance, say if you start out at 7:30 and you intend to quit at 10, when you come up with your committee song, say an hour ahead of time. That's where you sing your 2 committee songs. And you give away then. And then the 2 committee songs come first, then the whip man, and then you cook. I forgot to mention the cook and the officers of the organization. But it has to be a man. The head cook is a man. And during the singing of each song, the committee songs comes first, the whip man, and then the cook song. The head singer can dance and give away on any of those songs that he wants to, on the committee songs, or the cook, or the whip man song.
Now, how many committee songs are there?
4.
4 committee songs. I'm not sure whether I have those on that tape or not.
I don't think we have but 2.
Mm-hmm. Now, in giving away, when someone has a large giveaway and he intends to give away to his friends and etc., can you explain the procedure of, I believe there's a proper order of people that you give away to first? Is this correct? Mm-hmm. And then also, there's a certain order in which the person that is receiving a gift shakes the hand of the family.
That's right.
And then, in order, the husband, the wife, what about the children? You shake the hand of the children, or just the man and wife?
Not necessary, but
Not necessary.
But
What about the person speaking for the family? Does he shake hands with the speaker?
No.
No. Okay. In what order does a person give away if he's having a large giveaway?
He'd give to the people that he had in mind, whoever it might be.
No one in particular?
No one in particular.
Just calling it any number. I see.
But there's a difference, as I said a while ago, that when you're going to sit in semicircle, it has to be semicircle. When you induct one boy, he comes in there dressed up, he dances. That's the first time in that circle. He pays, or he gives away, making a way for himself, as we say among the Indians, without a song. He comes in there with his, whatever he can give away, and then he honors the ordinance organization, and then he just gives out to whoever he wants to after that.
After he honors the ordinance organization.
That's right.
But he pays for his position by honoring the ordinance
That's right.
organization before any songs are done.
That's right.
I see. And he
That's
uses
his first time.
I see. Okay. What is the length of time that a person is obligated to the organization?
The leader in the Ponca Ordinance organization is in for life. I had an actual experience on that sometime a while back. I made up my mind to vacate my position to someone else. I thought I would give someone else a chance at that position. And I was advised by our oldest member, who died here recently in his late 80s. He told me that I couldn't resign the position, that I was in for life. But he said it was possible to read, but he never did explain to me as to how one went about it. So I got that information. His name was Ernest Blueback. He passed away a while back. But the rest of the members of the committee and the other officers, as I hear, they can resign their positions anytime. But if they fail to attend 1 or 2 meetings or 2 dances among our people, they were automatically out. They were replaced. But as I was explaining to one of the boys last night, being in this day and time, that I would tell you that you could do whatever you want to. Because it could be that this boy might have made a business trip or had to work or something. And if you missed 1 or 2 times, that you would get someone in his place, but you wouldn't leave him out. that would be up to you to do that.
Do you have an age limit in your organization for members?
No.
No age limit. But it's restricted to men only.
Restricted to men only. Of course, I might say this to that age limit. I wouldn't include little tots to get up and dance. We never did that. But I've seen young boys, like maybe 6 and 7 years old, because among our Indians I saw men out there sitting in the committee seats, men who were chiefs in the tribe. And, it wouldn't look right for them to be dancing with little bitty tots all around him. They didn't allow that. They figured little tots and babies stay in their place. And about women dancing years ago, I might just add this in there. The women had a place in there, had a time in there to dance, only to get up and dance, keep time with a drum right where they were sitting. It used to be that in the old days. They weren't allowed to get out there with a man. But due to the changing of the times today, while they get out there and dance around and dance with the men on the giveaway.
And the giveaway song, yeah.
And as for the drum, there's an interesting story about that. Years ago, they highly respected the drum. With the thought and feeling that it was on the drum being out in the center, and through the drum, timing with the drum, singing with the drum, many people benefited from that, which I don't really have to go into full detail. If it wasn't for the drum, well, there wouldn't be any singing, good singing of the war dance to bring out the meaning and everything to it. And years ago, I understand that they used to, even before they started their dance, they had a man to come and speak to the drum, because it was highly respected for that reason. The war dance songs that we sing today are very old. No one knows how old they are. But if you will notice that a lot of our songs have words in them. They're actually warrior songs. There's a story to each song. And a lot of our songs pertain to the ancient enemy of the Ponca, the Sioux, the Pawnee. And these songs were composed way before the time that the Poncas were moved from their home back in 1877. It tells of their battle experience, the hand-to-hand combat, and the Hethuska songs. Some of them are composed acknowledging the presence of the buffalo and of the horse, as well as taking trophies of war from their enemy. And it also has the stories in the song of being challenged to a duel by other tribes. And all of the songs are old, very old. I don't know when they were composed or who composed the songs. And I'll add this in there too, that in our Hethuska society, we have a song dedicated to the whistle, the war dance whistle. And there's a song made even for the bustle, because back then in the olden days, certain men were given the right to wear the buckle, or as we call it by interpretation or translation, the crow belt. It was made entirely of crow feathers. And the man that wore them would have to be an outstanding warrior, a brave man, a man that who fought the enemy all his life, perhaps, and that overcome his enemy. A man who had been victorious. Men who proved themselves to be warriors. So all of these songs have a different meaning. And at various times in the song, even our Creator is mentioned in these songs, acknowledging that God had the power to help this man in his fight against the enemy. He acknowledges God as being his helper to overcome his enemy. And then we have songs that don't have any tunes in them. These kind of songs, we are told that way back there, men had dreamed these songs, or had a vision in which these songs came to him, sometimes by the various native animals in our country here at that time. For instance, we have several songs pertaining to the wolf or to the coyote in other ritual dances, ceremonies. And it tells sometimes about the man who fasted for 4 days, and actually hearing those songs sung by someone or something other than man. That's how they got their tunes. And that's why I always thought that a lot of these songs were tunes. If they came in that way, in that manner, they are still good today to us as well as it was to us. There are very few new songs that we sing today which had been composed since the termination of the Second World War. Songs that were made and dedicated to our returning servicemen, following after the manner of our old people, honoring their victorious warriors returning. And there are other songs that were composed recently, which we sing today, but we hardly sing them all the time because of the fact that they're new, and a lot of our singers do not know the songs, and we sing them once in a while. We sing our older songs, our old songs, and all of our war dances. And our songs or our dances divided into four versions. The Hethuska, or the war dance. We dance the original war dance, moderate tempo, and then we have the fast. We call the fast war dance songs. And then we have the trot. And then we have another dance which a man dance on their toes, or tiptoes. I don't know just how to describe that. Simply because we dance in several different ways, that one particular dance. But the drum beat is slow and steady. It's real slow. So there we have 4 versions of the war dance in the Punka Hethuska. I believe we made recordings that had those, we call it the Mistaki.
Yes, we did.
I mean, we recorded about three songs. There were four or five, but we lost one, and the other one we do not sing because simply we don't remember. We can't think of it at the time that we come into that part of the dance. So there we have 4 different versions of the war dance in the polka Hethuska society.
Now, how many days does the organization dance? Does it start on a certain day, or dance at a certain time of year, or?
No. Whenever they were ready to dance, whenever they made their plan to set a date, and they dance.
And it lasts the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, or?
Yes.
2 days. You dance in the afternoon and
at night. And the next day. Years back, they tell me that the punks used to dance 4 days. And there was one organization used to dance in the afternoon, or in the morning, the afternoon, and the night. But since those people died out, they took a lot of their ways with them. We haven't been informed about those ways. That one, we don't even know which organization it was.
Is there any significance to the staff that a straight dancer will carry, as far as someone has told me that sometimes only tail dancers should carry these, or is there any significance to it?
Yes, it actually meant the crew stick. One man informed me, and another time I was informed that it was only the tail dancers carried the stick.
Now, in our organization, you're going to leave it up to us whether or not the women dance.
That's right.
Correct.
Yes.
As I'm sure in your own organization, the women would like to dance. I'm sure they would in ours too. So we'll have to consider this. The semicircle that you were speaking about, the opening in that semicircle faces east.
That's right.
Correct.
Right.
And the committee sits at the head of that circle.
It sits right in the center.
In the center.
Right in the center. Now you divide your community. If you had 8, you put 4 on one side, 4 on the other. You sit directly in the middle.
I see. Is there any preference to seating?
No.
They can sit in just as long as 4 on one side.
Yes, but you're the one to give each one their seat at the beginning of your dance. Before you dance, as each one comes in, you lead them to the seat. And give each man his seat. And they keep that position from then on.
That's for dancing the very first
Yes.
time. It all takes place.
I forgot to mention the fact that when you get ready to place your members of the Hethuska Society, you may have the whip man to go and meet each one and have him point out the seat or lead each one to their seats. You can remain standing right where your seat is, stand up and have the whip man to do that for you. I think that's the proper procedure. Because we don't have the Nudahanga or the leader to go and walk around all over the dancing ground, the dance ground, or to move around too much. You are the head man, and that's what your officers are for, to help you to do the placing of the men as they come in. at the beginning of your dance, or after, whenever he has paid for his position, your whipman will tell him where to sit. That would have been prearranged between you and your whipman as to his duties right there at that time. And that's what he will do. Tell each man just exactly where to sit, including your committee man. That means every one of them.
Now, you mentioned we had a sort of lengthy conversation the other night at the Pala, and having experienced a war dance last September for Mike Tucker, which Lamont came out to sing for, I think you know how sincere the people in Los Angeles are about this.
Yes.
And why we want to dance the war dance as we experienced it. I feel, and some of my other associates feel that we should base it on the polka Hethuska because of the fact that we're singing all polka songs and that these songs were made for the war dance. I'd like you to say something now about the conclusion you came to as you and Johnny Steele told me the other day, Johnny being a member of your committee, exactly why you're giving this to us at this time, and what you mean by giving us the drum.
Well, let me say it in this way, Ty. First, I must say this, that it makes a person feel good, that is, the Indian, feeling of gratitude. It makes me feel good to know that other people than the Indian are interested in this ancient dance of ours. It's good to know that there are other people who are going to help us preserve this dance for posterity, I hope. When we came out there to L.A. to sing for the Hethuska, to see how they were sincere about conducting their war dance, as I said before, it made me feel good. And I was proud of the fact that they chose the polka way to conduct their war dance. It is no more than right that we should, I feel that we should give you this information in order that you boys might perform it in the right way and in a proper way. And I just hope that all of you will continue to do that and do the things that is required of this organization, follow up to and live up to its meaning and to its rules that is set to govern us. War dance. I know that you boys were glad to have us out there, and I've often thought of it. I've relived it in memory many, many times. And I hope that in future days to come, that we will help one another in conducting these dances. I hope that in time to come that we might someday eventually come out on our own and to have you boys with us at one of our dances in the future. I know that our organization would be very glad to have you because we have other white men in our organization and they are very much interested in it. And in conclusion, I just hope that you will be successful in your performances of your war dance organization in Los Angeles.